Alright, I wanted to get this response out really quick because How the World Works addressed some good points, and I realized I should have mentioned a few more things in my original video. So I'll apologize for not doing this video in the same style as my first two of the series, and I'll apologize for reading off the laptop. It's just that I've prepared an argument and it'll make my video a lot faster and a lot more flowy. First off, thanks for the response, How the World Works. Honestly, I didn't expect more than a comment on a video, but I'll be trying to make this quick. And I do recognize that you did raise a few good points, but really it was due to my error for not addressing them before putting out this video originally. First, you mentioned I cited quotes with The Amazing Atheist. Where did I quote mine with Thunderfoot? When I was speaking about your self-proclaimed victory over Thunderfoot, I was referring to your reading off the comments in your video, Short Message to the Amazing Atheist and the Expert. I'll link with annotations to where it begins. Now then, in regards to DDT, this is something I probably should have mentioned in my first video. The question posed is there a net loss or gain for society? DDT hasn't been documented as the direct cause of death for a single person. Furthermore, it would save 1 million people a year from malaria. If only this were the case. For someone who professes a level of expertise in evolution, you seem to completely skip over the problems of genetic inheritance and developmental immunity. Mosquitoes develop from egg to adult in approximately 12 days, and they'll mate within a few days after hatching. This gives an average generation of about 15 days. The principal idea I'm expanding on here is that there will be some members of the mosquito population resistant to DDT. These members will pass on their genes, and over many mosquito generations, entire populations may develop an immunity to DDT, rendering it useless, and poisoning the environment around us, as well as ourselves. Use of DDT is a short-term solution to a long-term problem. It is for these reasons I do not endorse it. I would much rather fund research into better alternatives like this study. This actually isn't the only point I'd like to bring up about DDT use in my response. You go on about in large amounts. Again, this will come back to bioaccumulation, and we still see DDT concentrations of up to 30 parts per million in people in North America. However, to ensure that overspraying does not occur, many government regulations would have to be put in place. Proper disposal would be required. It's not as simple as, if we only use a little, no one's going to notice. You're suggesting that people in malaria-infected areas all start spraying DDT. Perhaps this is pessimistic of me, but I frankly don't trust humanity to use it properly. The point of bringing up atrazine was to show the problems with spraying pesticides and herbicides, and that even though they may be legal in some countries, it doesn't mean that they don't have adverse effects. Again, benefits versus drawbacks is brought up. But for your information, atrazine is already banned throughout Europe. It's ironic that Syngenta, the company producing it, can't even sell it in their own continent. But here's my point. There are alternatives to chemicals like atrazine. It is not the only herbicide out there. The entirety of Europe seems to get along fine without it. I don't see why the US needs it. About the mind your own business comments. You're right, I didn't see it. I was only addressing the points you brought up about it, which seems like the absolute worst point to bring up when discussing industrialization in poorer nations. You say that environmentalists are often more about leftist politics. I still fail to see how native culture is an environmental issue. Simply because an environmentalist said it does not make it so. I'm against DDT use. Does that make it an atheistic issue? The third point on global warming and the Tata Nano would be this. At the rates we are emitting CO2 today, climatological data already strongly suggests a large scale back in our CO2 emissions. India's population is the second largest in the world, right behind China. The market is immense. The total number of passenger vehicles in the USA as of 2006 was found to be 251 million. This is a country with a population of 300 million people, 1/4 the size of India. Even if there was only one car to every 2 people in India, it would still dwarf the cars per person in the US. And you can't forget China is also racing into the industrial age as well, and is an even greater concern. A more interesting point would be that Tata has developed a vehicle which runs on compressed air. Frankly, I'd much rather see that sort of technology pursued instead of more gasoline-powered vehicles. Your willingness to shrug off your new subscribers when just days ago you were thanking The Amazing Atheist for them frankly says all that I would like to about this. They are your subscribers. They click the button, and it is because you demonize Thunderfoot by accusing him of acting in a fashion to promote censorship of your videos that they flagged his videos. Take responsibility for your actions. You ask for subscribers in your videos, every single video. Furthermore, the example of poisoning the well that I was talking about was what I had just gone over. I don't understand how you actually missed that. You demonize Thunderfoot by accusing him of promoting hateful actions unto your person. His subscribers work in the same way as yours do. His intention was not to have your video one-starred unjustly or to spam you with hate mail. To the comment about elaborating on false assumptions and sidestepping the issue, don't worry, they'll make their appearance. I only managed to get through the first couple minutes of your first video on my first episode. As for the irony, I don't claim to have insight that exceeds what the greatest minds in the world have to offer. I don't claim I am superior to you in any way, shape, or form. What I do say is that I will pick through your false claims and debunk them to the best of my ability. The reason I once again bring up the comparison of a creationist is because that's what I just spent the last little while elaborating on. You share qualities with them, which I outlined, some of which I have yet to justify. However, for those I ask that you wait for the series to continue. And to be perfectly honest, I'll have to ask that you understand that I am a university student, and it is mid-April. I'm going to be busy the next few weeks, and as enjoyable as it is to do what I'm doing, no, that's not sarcasm, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't enjoy it, my work should come before YouTube. It may take me some time to reply to some responses. I'll do the best I can do, but I don't make any guarantees. Peace. Guarantees. I'm just not... I even wrote this out. No, that's not sarcasm. Oh man! I'm just firing this off. And to be perfectly honest, I'll have to ask that you understand...